Let's bring in Carson Palmer. I did some research, by the way. Yeah, breaking news. I did some research. I believe Carson Palmer's first game, he came in to relieve Mike Van Raphorst, maybe, against Purdue and Drew Brees. And it was one of the hottest days in the history of Los Angeles. Band members and cheerleaders were passing out from heat exhaustion. Is that true, Carson?
I will never forget that game. I think it was like 105 degrees. The heat index on the field at the grass level of the Coliseum was like 120. There was paramedics all over the place. It was constant chaos, but we did come out of that game with a win, which was big.
What do you remember about Drew Brees?
Well, I think he was, known as being the best or one of the best collegiate quarterbacks at the time. I was just a young true freshman just coming into college and had heard his name, and he had been playing. I think he had played the year before at Purdue and had a really good year. So Purdue had a lot of NFL talent. I remember going into that game thinking they were a really, really good team, and turns out they were, and ended up, throughout Drew's career there, they won a bunch of games and had a lot of success.
Where's your Heisman Trophy?
Currently, it's in my garage. But I will say that my garage is a garage/office.
Oh, okay. Have you ever loaned out your Heisman?
Never. Why, you want to put it on the show?
I'd love to.
Okay. Yeah, I'll loan it to you.
Okay. But I got to worry about mailing that sucker because I don't want to break. Remember Eddie George lost one of his fingers on the Heisman? Like it got bent?
I've actually got a really cool a case that you can put it in that's well protected, and it ships pretty well. It is. You will have to have the show pay for shipping because it's expensive to ship. That thing's heavy. I
will pay for that. And then, how long are you going to, like, this is just on consignment, or is it, how about until USC has another Heisman Trophy winner?
Deal. Yeah, it's just sitting in my garage, like I said. So
that's awesome.
It's no sweat off my back if you want to put it on the show.
All right. I love that. That's awesome. If it wasn't USC, where were you going?
I probably would have gone to Notre Dame, actually.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Conflict of interest there, but at the time it was I had a chance to either stay home and play close to home at USC, kind of in my own backyard, or fly across the country and play at Notre Dame at the time when, as a kid coming out, Notre Dame was playing every week on national television. Everybody knows who Notre Dame was. The movie Rudy had just come out, so those are the two schools that everything boiled down to. But couldn't have been happier and loved my experience anymore at USC.
We're talking to Carson Palmer. He's joining us. Now, this is a CBD sports cream called Level Select. And how'd you get involved in this?
I got involved just as I got done playing after numerous injuries, numerous surgeries, and got done and was walking away from the game after 15 years in a decent amount of pain and having, sleepless nights, uncomfort, sorenesses, aches, and all those things, and was looking for something other than an opioid or Vicodin or any of the over the prescription painkillers. Was looking for an alternative and started looking at CBD and started using it and found Level Select, which is a Cadenwood brand, and it's a brand you can trust. It's a brand exactly what's in it. Everything that it says on the box that's in it is in it and nothing more. And it's been an incredible product and really helped me continue to do all the things I love outside and still playing sports with my kids and not be in the same soreness situations I've been in for so many years.
So many former athletes talk about, smoking pot like that was, just a way to relieve, at least temporarily, that pain. How prevalent do you think that was when you were playing?
Oh, it's very prevalent. I mean, it's obviously legalized in a number of states, and it's an avenue that guys have gone down, and this is an avenue with CBD that I've gone down, and it's been a phenomenal product for me. It's easy to get confused with the THC and the CBD. This is not a THC product. Level Select is strictly CBD. There is no THC. It is not a drug. You can buy it online at selectmylevel.com, and it's something that is great for my parents and people in their 60s, 70s, and 80s to, guys that are in their 30s and 40s that still want to play pickup basketball and golf and do all the things that I do. It's something that helps you continue to live in the sports world and live without soreness and pain.
Yeah, I've been I've sampled some CBD, medicinal marijuana, like all of that for just the inflammation that I have, and it's temporary relief. Like I kept trying to figure out how do I get rid of this, but in the meantime, I understand the benefits of this, and I'm wondering if the NFL, do they get to the point where they partner with a CBD company?
I absolutely think so. I mean, I think it's already in locker rooms in all sports. It's something guys have been using for a while, but now that it's so mainstream and now that you can buy it online, like selectmylevel.com, and there's so many options and so many different companies out there. One of the things I was looking for was a company that I trusted and a company that I knew what they said they were and what they were putting in the product is only what they're putting in the product, because there's a lot of riffraff out there. So finding a brand that you can trust and finding something that will work and alleviate those sorenesses and pains is something that I found in Level Select. What
hit still hurts?
Well, I've got a hip. I've got an arthritic hip just from landing on it and having 350-pound guys land on top of it. And I'm going to have it replaced. It's something that I'm putting off, and the reason I'm putting it off is I'm using Level Select on it and taking that ache and that soreness that was keeping me up at night and not letting me sleep. And I wasn't as active as I'd like to be. But at some point, I'm going to have to have the surgery and have this hip replaced. I'm just trying to delay it as long as possible.
Last night's game. What advice would you give Baker Mayfield after that performance?
Oh man! Well, for one, to sit in the pocket for a little bit longer. He's so comfortable outside the pocket, and that is not where the game is won, and that is not where today's game is played. He looks like he's not trusting what's going on up front of him. He's not trusting his offensive line because they've been struggling, obviously. But there's opportunities to stay in the pocket and slide, and as opposed to bouncing outside and getting out there around the numbers and hoping somebody gets open. That's not where the game is won. He's got to get more and more comfortable sitting in the pocket and getting the ball on guys quicker. It looks to me like he's really waiting for things to develop. And in this league, you can't. When the guy's open for half a second, the ball's got to be on him, and he's not doing that.
Yeah, it feels like he locks in. Well, you would know this as well as anybody, any quarterback. There are times when you want to get your star receiver the ball. Like having Odell Beckham, that's different than Jarvis Landry. They're both talented, but OBJ wants to prove the world, hey, I'm still a great receiver. And if you're Baker Mayfield, how much do you let that play into what you do when you drop back to pass?
It's impossible not to. It's an extra heavy pressure and stress. I got to get him the ball. I got to get a touch. I got to get him, in space. There's so many things that go through a quarterback's head, and the game is hard enough as it is. But when you have that extra added pressure of feeling like you got to get him involved, you got to get him downfield, all the thoughts that are going through his head, as opposed to just, getting the ball, taking your drop, going through your reads, and taking what the defense is giving him. There's times where he's really looking for him and really feeling that stress and that pressure of I got to get him involved. I got to get him involved. And being a young quarterback, it feels like Baker's been around for a lot longer than he has because we've been hearing his name for so long. But he doesn't have a lot of experience. He hasn't been playing forever. So he's definitely feeling that pressure and that stress of getting him involved and getting the ball in his hands. And unfortunately, it's leading to interceptions. And more than that, there's other guys that are open, other guys that should have the ball in their hands, and he's looking for OBJ, and it's really slowing them down as an offense.
What was the best conversation you ever had in the huddle with the receiver who came back and said, I'm open?
Man, Chad Ochocinco would always tell me he was open. I mean, he was open a lot, but he thought he saw the game a little bit different than I did from my perspective. He was always wide open. But, from the conversations he and I had in the huddle to the conversations Larry Fitzgerald and I didn't have in the huddle about how open he wasn't. Larry never begged for the ball. He never asked for it. he knew that the offense would come through him and to him at some point. But the conversations with Chad, just everyone, he's just shut up, Chad, shut up, shut up. I'm trying to hear the play come through the speakers in my helmet. Just shut up. But yeah, Chad was always open in his world.
Ever see Larry Fitzgerald mad?
I don't think I have. I mean, other than I've seen him disappointed from all the times I whooped him on the golf course and he had to pull out his wallet and pay me.
Wow.
But that wasn't mad or frustration. That was just disappointment because he talks a pretty good game on the golf course.
Did you ever talk to Beyonce after she wore your Bengals jersey?
I have not. I'm still waiting on that call.
But why was she wearing your jersey?
I guess she's just a really, really big fan.
Of you?
Of me.
Obviously. And it's this trivia. This is one of those trivia questions that is awesome, if it's true. You and your brother, Jordan, first brothers in NFL history to play the same position at the same time for the same team in the same game. Is that right?
I believe that is true.
November 21st, 2010. So you start and then your brother comes in?
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember. I think we were up a handful of points, and he got in the fourth quarter, and I don't know if he completed a pass or attempted a pass, but I think we both did play in the same game. I think he came in and handed the ball off and maybe took a knee to run the clock out.
Hey, it's great to talk to you, and stay in touch. Always appreciate your opinions, and, Fritzy will arrange for shipping of the Heisman Trophy here that we put in the man cave if you're up for it.
I'd be honored. Let's. I'll make sure that gets sent out pretty soon. Just send me your FedEx number so I can put it on your account.
All right, Todd, can you take care of this?
I sure can.
Are you sure? Because you can't take care of too many things.
Ooh.
Should I put somebody on this?
I think I can handle it.
Okay. All right. So when you hang up, then we'll get that information. Thank you, Carson. We appreciate it.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. Stream for free on BR Live or download the Dan Patrick Show app.